I'm Gary Warren. I'm president of Hamilton Services Corporation and been involved with Nebraska Relay originally and Hamilton Relay since the beginning. Hamilton Relay started out really as a expansion of our operator services and call center services. The Public Service Commission of Nebraska knew that we were in the local operator services business and the call center business, and when the American with Disabilities Act was passed and they issued a request for proposal, they said, would you be interested in doing it? We got to thinking about it and thought, well, we know a little bit about operator services, we know a little bit about call centers, we know something about telecommunications. Maybe this would be a good fit. So we responded to the request for proposal and ultimately won the bid in Nebraska, and that was our start. You know, one of my favorite stories is in Baton Rouge when Hurricane Katrina came through. That was a very trying time. We had other relay centers, and so we could take most of the relay calls in another place. But the relay center in Baton Rouge was still important to us, and we also knew there were going to be a lot of calls during that storm, and we wanted to make sure we were there. I think the thing that indicated to me the kind of people we have who cared about and were dedicated to the consumers was we had 15, 20 people that in the heart of that storm stayed overnight in sleeping bags at the center so that they would be there to make sure the switch was running, to make sure the calls were going through, and to add what they could to the call workforce during what was a very difficult time for many residents of certainly of Louisiana, but even beyond that. That dedication always left a mark on me as to what our people are trying to do for the consumer, and it told me something about the people that we have working for us, that they cared about the customer. They realized it was important for the customers to make their calls, and they were going to do what they could to make sure that was possible, even in very difficult circumstances. The first few years in Relay were really a challenge for a lot of reasons. If you think back to that time, late 80s, early 90s, no one had 5 or 10 years history in the relay business. Nobody had technology that had 5 or 10 years proven working for it. Nobody knew exactly how do you communicate it to the consumers that the service is available. Nobody knew exactly what the features and functions should be. Nobody knew exactly how the compensation for the providers should work. The regulators didn't really know all the rules and stuff that they should be putting in place. So it was uncharted water. And it was uncharted for the customers, for the regulators, for the providers, for everybody. That made it an unusual experience in that, you know, people were building new software, people were making new rules. All these things were new. Made it very challenging, but it also made it a unique opportunity. Being part of a business at a time when the whole business is being developed and how it's going to work is being developed is really exciting, and you really have a chance to make a difference. And we think over our entire 25 years that Hamilton Relay has really made a difference. And it's been fun to be a part of something that started from almost nothing, not only as a business for us, but as an industry, and be with it all the way. I think the rewards for being in this business, you know, there's always the financial rewards for a business that makes money and pays people and all that type of thing. But this has an unusual set of rewards in terms of what happens for the end user consumer. I remember early on a customer called back into our customer care after having completed a relay call. And of course, we cannot disclose the confidentiality of the call. However, when she called customer service, she said, "I want you to know I got the job." And the customer care agent wasn't quite sure what she was talking about to begin with, but then she went on to explain that she had used the relay service to essentially do a job interview. And she wound up getting the job, and she was so excited. And I think that story has always stayed with me of the importance of this service, and there are millions more examples over the 25 years of how the relay service has impacted the lives of our users and in a meaningful and productive way. That has a reward beyond the dollars and cents. And you can tell it when you talk to our people who work in relay as well. You can just sense that they understand that on a daily basis they're making a critical difference in the lives of our users in terms of how they communicate using the telecommunications world. That provides an additional reward which really kind of keeps us all going, and I hope keeps Hamilton Relay going for another 25 at least. So we look forward to that.